I shouldn't just focus on what's deficient in someone else. Maybe I should wonder what's going on with me that I cannot produce the outcome that it is that I want. Yeah, I believe that both men and women can do better. That's clear. But I also see women as more disordered than men in this case. It's not just what I think, it's not just what I see by using my two eyes, my two ears, and some common sense. But it's also in the statistics, and we have to talk about that. So when I say that women are more disordered than others, it's not a perception. It shows up in the numbers. Like, it's so bad that we can actually quantify it. It's not about your experience or your perception or what's going on in your world or your circle. We're talking about this is so prevalent that it actually shows up in the numbers. We can quantify how big of a problem this is. We can quantify how different Black women are from other people in this area of marriage and relationships. It's so bad that it's become statistically significant.
Hey y'all, welcome to Boundaries and Grace.
Hey y'all, happy Saturday. My name is Taylor Chandler. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. Today, episode is called Last Train Out. This is my final appeal to women. Okay, this is my final appeal to women. We're going to do a quick overview of marital and divorce statistics. We're going to make sense of the data very quickly. We're going to talk about what the issue is, areas where women are lacking. Okay, we're going to talk about why this problem is happening, my experience with my own clients and women in general, my theory on Black women's extraordinary resistance to change. We're going to talk about how to handle it and my call to action for you. Is that a lot for one episode? I'm going to try to keep this under 1 hour. I have some stats for you from National Institute of Health, the CDC, the census. We're going to talk about some facts. This is my last appeal to women in this regard. And I'll tell you a little bit about how I got here and what we're going to do next. I'm calling this episode Last Train Out. This is the last train out the station. I've been trying to tell you for years, especially the last 2 years. I've been saying, we can't do this forever, y'all. I've been saying, we're going to have to separate, y'all. And now the time has finally come. Women need help. No, we got plenty of stuff to talk about with men as well. We could do that, but we're not going to do that today. And I'll tell you a little bit about that. I'll tell you a little bit about why that is as well. So I have a lot to share with you. Let's get started, y'all. Okay, so first up, quick overview of marriage and divorce statistics. This data is coming from the CDC, and the census. Okay, so if you have an issue with the CDC and the census, call them. This is not me. This is not me. Okay, marriage rates haven't changed between 2012 and 2022. Did you know that? Marriage rates haven't changed between 2012 and 2022. It's been at a steady state. Divorce rates have what? Write it in the chat. And by the way, y'all, I know it's 2025, but it takes a while for research to get aggregated, data to get aggregated, and then it has to go through a whole process of being reviewed before it's published. So usually when we're talking about official stats, it's never same year. Okay. He said divorce rates have increased. Did you know that divorce rates everyone says increase. Did you know that divorce rates have decreased? Wait, I'm serious. Look it up. I'm gonna put the citations in the description of the video because you won't believe it until you read it. And that's why you should read. Well, you don't have to read because you have people that actually care to read and then they give you information. But some people are misleading. Divorce rates have decreased. We wouldn't have guessed that, right? Everybody said increase. Why? Because, well, one, it's a narrative that we've bought into. See, there are things that we think we know, and then there's what stats actually show. So as far as what the percentage point is on whatever year, you might find different numbers, different percentage points. But what is just true is that divorce rates have decreased. So how is it that we have this major issue in relationships and marriage, but the divorce rate is trending downwards? Someone, I think, said it in the chat. Well, there's a couple different factors as to why that's happening. One that someone already said is, well, because people aren't getting married. You can't get divorced if you don't get married. You can't get divorced if you don't get married. People are also, this is also a big factor. People are also getting married later in life. They're getting a better idea of what they need, and some people are just looking for a companion later in life. They're not looking for like a romantic love or like a sexual relationship. In other words, let's make it real. Let's say you're 65 years old. The things that matter to you at 65, now I'm not 65, but let's use common sense. The things that matter, I think that would matter at 65 would be different than what matters at age 30. Right? So people that are getting married at 28 and then you grew 38 and you realized who you were and who you're with is not who that was, and you forgot to ask the right questions, and now you're married and you got kids and now you want to get a divorce because it wasn't what you signed up for. Well, when people are getting married later, and you're not necessarily 65, I'm just saying that to paint the picture. As people are getting married later, they're not experiencing the same issues. So it's not that the same catalysts for divorce aren't present. Does that make sense, everybody? So people are getting married later. They're getting a better idea of what they want, what they need. They're holding out on getting married, so they're not getting divorced, or they're marrying a better person than they would have if they were 20. Some people are just looking for a companion. They're not looking for the same thing as they would have when they were younger. Otherwise, people are not getting married, so they can't get divorced. So the divorce rate is trending down, but that doesn't mean that marriage is that we're in a good spot. Okay? That's why you have to you got to understand context of data. Let's just do a little research and statistic mini course. We're about to go into the other stuff in a second. Let's just do a quick little nugget on research and data, because I know most people haven't participated in real research. BuzzFeed doesn't count. Wikipedia, it doesn't count. Instagram Explore page is not real research. So someone can say something like the divorce rate is trending down, but if you don't go past that fact, because that's a fact, the divorce rate is trending down, but we have to wonder why. How is it? Do I make the assumption that it's because people are staying married? Not necessarily. I shouldn't make that assumption. Maybe I should ask myself, are people even getting married? The divorce rate going down because there aren't as many divorces to have? So these are questions that a cerebral person is going to ask. That's why you just don't go with everything that you hear. Anyway, that's a whole nother, that'd take me a year just to go through that in and of itself. But hopefully that gives you some context as to like why that's important to understand. Or another reason why I want you to understand context. Let's say you're a Black woman and you're like, well, what's the issue? Divorce rates are going down and marriage rates staying the same. You're saying Black women are the problem. They can't be. Look at the data. But when we pull out Black women from the data, you're not doing what everybody else is doing. Your data looks different. Your data looks different. So y'all, I'm going to set this up for you as I normally do. If you're looking for the meat and potatoes, come back in about 30 minutes and then we'll get to the stuff, the theory on Black women. And if that's what you want to do, you want to fight, wait till that time. But I'm going to set this up for you. We're going to talk about why aren't people getting married, what the problem is, why the problem is happening, my theory on why Black women are extraordinarily resistant to change, how to handle it, and what I think we should do next, okay? Why aren't people getting married? Well, women will say they don't want a relationship if they have to deal with certain things in men. And I think that that's fair. Have you heard that? Or if you're a woman, have you said that? I don't want a relationship if I have to deal with certain things, right? Well, the thing is, men don't want a relationship if they have to deal with certain things either. For some reason, women think that men need women, and that's never been the case though. So women are like, well, I'm going to hold out. And men are like, I didn't need you anyway, though. And even if I did want you, if I did want one of you, I could find a way to go get one. Anyway, let's stay on track. Women will say they don't want a relationship if they have to deal with certain things in men. Well, the thing is that men don't want a relationship if they have to deal with certain things in women either. I'm going to say this for everybody. Your best bet is to understand what you might be doing to prevent yourself from getting into a healthy long-term relationship. What might prevent you from getting married? What might prevent you from being in a relationship, rather than only seeing what's deficient in others? This is the whole principle of controlling what you can control. What I'm asking you to do first, before we do anything else, first is just to point the spotlight back on you and say, I shouldn't just focus on what's deficient in someone else. Maybe I should wonder what's going on with me that I cannot produce the outcome that it is that I want. I believe that both men and women can do better. That's clear. That's just always true. Both men and women can always do better. I'm going to focus today on women. Okay, I'm a woman and I can't cover everything at once, but here's also the truth. It's not just that I can't cover everything at once or we would be here all day, but I also see women as more disordered than men in this case. It's not just what I think, it's not just what I see by using my two eyes, my two ears, and some common sense, but it's also in the statistics, and we have to talk about that. So when I say that women are more disordered than others, it's not a perception. It's a reality. It's a fact. It shows up in the numbers. It's so bad that we can actually quantify it. It's not a qualitative issue. It's not about your experience or your perception or what's going on in your world or your circle. We're talking about this is so prevalent that it actually shows up in the numbers. We can quantify how big of a problem this is. We can quantify how different Black women are from other people in this area of marriage and relationships. It's so bad that it's become statistically significant. Not every difference between groups is significant, but this is so bad. It has become, for my research people, statistically significant. As in, when we're looking at research, it's like there's something going on here. It's not just a difference, it's a significant difference. There is a big enough difference between Black women and Black men and their outcomes. There is a significant difference between Black women and their female counterparts. There's a significant difference between what Black women are getting and what's going on with other people. Are you following me? So yeah, both men and women can do better, but when we're looking at what's actually going on, the reality of it, women, Black women in particular, are the most disordered of all the disordered people. And as soon, Black women, as that you can stop getting so triggered by the fact, you can actually do something about it. If the numbers are enough to shut your ears down, we've lost you. As a matter of fact, this is my final appeal to you. You're so defensive. This is a later part in our conversation. You're so defensive that we can't even share the numbers with you without, what am I, a pick-me? Is the CDC a part of some conspiracy? Is the National Institute of Health a part of some conspiracy to drag you down? Some anti-Black girl magic thing? What do you... Are they pick-me's? White men on research panels? Are they pick-me's? It can't all be a conspiracy, ladies. As a matter of fact, we don't even got to do conspiracies at this point. We don't even have to get fantastical. That's how bad it is. We don't have to make it up. It's actually just right there. We can just read the numbers. Let's continue, y'all. Let's continue. So Black women are more disordered than men in this area. Black women are more disordered than other women in this area. Men have the basic ideas of what a relationship needs. The basic structural idea. In general, men have the basic structural idea of what a relationship needs. Okay? Roles, shared purpose, serving each other. Men have the basic idea of what a relationship needs. They've never, as a whole group, they have never said, "I'm here to make myself happy." That's just literally, across time. It wasn't 20 years ago, wasn't 200 years ago, wasn't 2,000 years ago. It's never happened. So men have consistently had the basic structure and an idea of what a relationship needs. Roles, shared purpose, serving each other and such. Now here's the truth. I don't think, now I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. I deal heavily in the emotional realm, okay? In the intangible realm. I don't think that men right now in this time have grown to be able to provide for the emotional needs of a relationship. Let me put it like this. Because we don't have to do things like hunt and gather, okay? We have literally freed up time and space to be concerned about other things. We're not chasing down I don't know if we ever chased down lions, but y'all, I don't know. Ox, I don't know. I'm not a hunter. I don't know what was going on. Okay? I'll be back at the house. I don't know what y'all do. But we have literally freed ourselves up to not be in a primal survival mode. But we talk about being in survival, and it's a lot softer than what it really means. You're in survival mode because you are living paycheck to paycheck, but you're not running from you know lions and bears. Anyway, that's a side note. I don't think that men have grown into the emotional aspects of the relationship where we have evolved to. And men, can you get that? I'm not saying that you necessarily have to, but I am saying there is an increasing demand that women have for men for men to be able to provide for the emotional aspects of a relationship, to at least be able to engage. If you're a man and you can't even get with that, I'm really not for you. This really won't go. I'm really not actually the one. So there's emotional aspects of a relationship that plenty of women feel unsupported in, but men in large have had the basic structure of a relationship down, and that has not changed. Now, of course, there's always outliers, men who don't have the basic order and structure of a relationship, that basic idea and concept, and men who are they're emotionally gifted and they are easily able to attune and naturally empathetic and things like that. There's always outliers, but we're going to talk about the majority, okay? And you know what? If you're an outlier, sometimes these conversations, like, you should sit out, honestly. Like, I'm an outlier. We know that. At this point, let's just say that. You got to know where you're an outlier and kind of like be quiet, because you really start to detract. Like, it's like, yeah, like, men can handle emotions, but in general, men are not good with emotions in general as a whole. Like, let's be honest. But if you can do it, but the majority can't, like, I just kindly ask you to recognize that and realize that that's not normal. As a woman, if I'm like, well, women can be rational, well, women can, be emotionally grounded, I'm detracting from the argument. Like, I know women are out here doing a bunch of wild stuff. It's not helpful for me to talk about how I'm an outlier and what the outliers are doing when the mass is clearly doing something different. Okay? Please. Thank you. You know what I mean? Please. So anyway, we're going to be focusing later on this year and beyond on the emotional aspect, on the emotional parts that men can improve on. But I really believe that is not the primary issue. If we don't even have the order and if we can't get the foundation right, what are we doing talking about emotional intelligence? If you don't even know what you're doing here, if you don't even know what we're supposed to just be doing in the house, it's a second layer issue to talk about how the house feels and what the dynamics are. That's a second layer issue. If we can't even figure out how to just be together and what we doing here, it's a second layer, a tertiary issue to talk about emotional quality and stuff. That's really what I think. You got to, order. Like, you got to just have the basic part down. And so again, we can see that men in mass over time have held that basic order and foundation of a relationship, and women have not. Women have made the foundation of a relationship, or the order and structure of a relationship, negotiable. And men are like, it's not, though. And that's the stalemate. And I mean, if that's the most concise way I could put it. It's like, oh, we don't have to do it like this. Oh, we don't have to live like this. And men are like, no, but we do, though. and then the conversation breaks down right there. All right, let's get into it. What are women lacking? So number one is just like foundational stuff, just the basic structure of a relationship. Even being able to accept that is a struggle at this point. So beyond that, because I'm not going to do a whole episode on roles and gender dynamics and stuff, I'm going to talk about actually two things that women are doing / not doing that are affecting their opportunity to be chosen by a man. Number one, can you guess what it is? Shaka said accountability. Okay, that's a part of it. Okay, can you guess what they are, y'all? Yes, Daryl, you got it. Number one, body. Number one, body. Let's talk about body. Now I'm just going to give you a quick little tip sheet for what you could do with body, and then I'm going to tell you about some facts. Mike said emotional stability. You're right. Number being nosy. Y'all, the list is too okay, stop. Stop. Number 1, body. Get in the gym. Y'all refuse the gym but never refuse a margarita. Why is that? Why is that? Why will you refuse to go to the gym but you never turn down brunch? Why is that? Why will you refuse to go to the gym, but every time they ask you if you want the large rather than the medium, you never turn down the large? Why is that? Yeah, you gotta get in the gym, okay? And we're not talking about a new we're not talking about a New Year's resolution. You need to have a new lifestyle. You need a whole new lifestyle. Like 1 month not gonna do it. You've been overweight, obese for the last 25 years of your life. You can't do this in 60 days. 60 days not gonna cut it. You need a solid about 2 years, 4 or 5 times a week. Now I'm going to tell you how I know that that's how much you need in just a moment. I don't even need to see you because I see you in the data. All right. Thanks for buying a badge. Get in the gym. You can invest in a trainer. What's wrong with that? You'll invest in, how much do you spend on makeup, on your hair, on your lashes? Y'all, when I used to get my lashes done, because I developed an allergy on my eyelids. And you know, some girls will just say F it, and they will have allergic reactions on their eyes just so they can have some eyelashes. It's absolutely nuts. I said no. If my eyes are about to start doing some weird stuff, you got to take the stuff out. You about to go blind for some eyelashes. That's crazy. Anyway, point being, when I used to get my eyelashes done, that's like $300 appointment. That's a $300 appointment. So what are you investing in? But you won't invest in a trainer or like a large group class. Some of you need to be in environments where there's other people working out around you. Go to a large group class, join a Pilates studio, go to Orange Theory, go to Burn Boot Camp. You can invest in a trainer. It's like you never, why is it you never have enough money for the right things? Why is it you never have enough money for the right, but somehow you always find your way on to the trip? I don't get it. How is it you never have enough money to start therapy? You never have enough money for the gym membership or the trainer, but you always have enough money to get the hookah, the wings, and the valet. Come on, Atlanta. I know what y'all are doing. How is it you never have enough money for the right thing? How is it that Black women keep talking about how much money they have, but it's never where is it? Use that money. Use the money all that money you've been making. Like, use that. Invest in a trainer or a large group fitness class. Y'all stop buying crazy. I'm going to show y'all how big y'all are in just a moment. I'm going to show you. Not that we can't see it, but I'm just going to show you. I'm going to tell you what the numbers are because it sounds crazy. Stop buying crazy foods. What you talking about? You know you're overweight. Why do you stay on the outside of the grocery store? You're supposed to stay on the outside. Have you ever heard that? You're supposed to stay on the outside of the grocery store because on the inside, they got a bunch of mess. Stay on the outside. You know what's on the outside? Produce. You know what that is? Vegetables, fruit. The only thing you should be finding on the inside is some water bottles. That's it. That's the only thing you need on the inside. You need to be on aisle 1 and aisle 29, the last aisle, the end and that's it. Stop buying crazy foods. You know what? Now I'm not a doctor. I am a certified personal trainer and a certified fitness nutrition coach, and I have been since 2015. Did you know that? So I know what's going on. Some of y'all, after talking to your doctor, I'm not a doctor, go on a fast for a weekend. Yeah, you never heard that? Yeah, go in the grocery store, go on the outside and see what's on the outside. It's the inside that's got your problems. Go on a fast for a weekend after you talk to your doctor, because I don't know what you have going on, and don't try to pin this on me when your ass passes out. Okay? No. But some of y'all need to see what a fast feels like, because you're going to see how you are moved by compulsions to eat. and how you're controlled by your stomach. You know what? Some of y'all call that Jesus, like y'all go on a fast and you'll be like, Jesus saved me from diabetes. Jesus saved me from my cholesterol medicine. No, you just cleared it out. Like call it Jesus if you want to, but people do fast whether they're religious or not, and it produces the same results. It's because you're clearing your body out. You're resetting yourself. You're clearing out your digestive system. Call it Jesus if you want to. Okay, but try a fast. Fast doesn't have to be a religious thing. All right, but when you restrict your eating, I'm not talking about having an eating disorder, just for the record. But when you start to, not even want to say restrict, well, some of y'all do need to be a little bit restricted, but we're not supposed to say that because it's a bad word to say restrict. But if you're overweight and obese, it sounds like you need to do less. Restrict how much you're eating, restrict your consumption. And then you can see like, wow, I'm really compelled to eat. Wow, I just feel like eating, ain't nothing going on. Wow, I just ate, I want to eat again. And you start to see how you have compulsions to eat when you're not even hungry, and you need to reset. Okay, some of y'all addicted to caffeine, addicted to sugar, all kinds of stuff. Sugar, y'all, I can't even get into, that's a whole nother thing. When you're so big, y'all, when you're so big, I don't care how much. Even Lizzo said, I'm too big. Lizzo said, I'm too big. Lizzo, Miss Body Positivity. Lizzo, Miss Big Girl. Lizzo, Miss Thickums. Even Lizzo decided. And you know what? The thing is, y'all, she didn't suddenly say, I want to lose weight. She been thinking that. While she been pumping you up to get bigger and bigger and bigger, she was like, this is too big. Whole time, this is too big. Whole time. And she tried to cover it up with a bunch of nonsense. She tried to cover it up, make songs about it. Meanwhile, she clearly didn't feel good enough about herself to stay that way. Y'all don't see, you getting played right in your face. It's not even a complex play. It's not even complex. Even Lizzo said, take my big ass, y'all. She said, get my big ass on the treadmill. She said, I made millions being the biggest one on the block. I need to get small. She said, I made my career being Miss Big Girl. Miss Big Girl. She said, too big though. And she had y'all talking about big is beautiful, not beautiful enough for you to stay that way. Why you not stay that way though? Why didn't you want to stay that way though? If it was so great, why don't y'all why'd you even go back? Answer me that. But they won't say it though. They won't even say, you know what? I was playing in your face because I was too, I didn't think I could lose the weight. So I tried to lean into being big. And then I had a talent. So then I played a little flute and said, be big with me. And y'all done got hypnotized by her. You said she looked like me. She's singing and playing a damn flute, big as hell. She Pied Piper y'all into staying big while her ass was plotting on how to get small. I gotta move on. I'm happy for her. I'm glad she is getting smaller. That's important. That's important for her physical health, not even for vanity, right? Although, yeah, you do look better. I don't know why we can't just say it. I don't know why we can't act like I don't like living in a world where we can't just call it what it is. That's a little bit strange to me. I refuse to do it. I'm not going to say you look the same. You look exactly the same at 250 pounds as you did 150. I'm not going to say it's the same thing. I'm not going to say, oh, you just carrying it. You carrying it well. Nope. No. Survey says one looks better than the other. Now, that's a second layer issue, the vanity part, right? The appearance part. Now, the first layer issue is your physical health, y'all. Y'all getting diabetes, diabetes, heart disease. Every time some of y'all know, some ladies, y'all know, if that elevator went out at work, you on the 6th floor. And if that elevator went out at work, You out. You like you would actually call in. You would be pull up. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Cause if the elevator out, you about to be you gonna be out of breath. If the elevator go out, your ass gonna pass out. You gonna pass out at the elevator. So look, it's about your physical health. You can't breathe. Your lungs can't. You know. You understand? Listen, y'all are hilarious. You gotta understand, y'all. Let's be serious. That fat, y'all. That fat. Hold on. That fat, y'all, goes around your intestines. That's not funny. All that fat goes around your intestines. You are squeezing yourself to death from the inside out. And we're not supposed to say you're too big. Somebody need to say it. It save your life if you could finally accept it. Let's keep going. So anyway, you're gonna feel better all around, physically, mentally, emotionally, when your body is working in the way that it's supposed to, right? You are meant to be able to be active and move. Some of y'all, I could do this all day. I promise you, I could do this all day long. Mary, thank you for buying a badge. It's funny, y'all. You know what I think about when I get in a plane, y'all? When I get in a plane. If I'm in a plane, you know what I look around? I say, thank goodness, if there was an emergency, I know I could move. Some of y'all, if there was an emergency, a threat, an active threat, it's not funny. It's dangerous. You can't even move. You can't even get through the sea. You can't even move the way. You can't run. An active threat. You want a man to protect you. You want a man to give his life. Risk his life to save you in the event of an active threat. You need to be able to save yourself to the extent that you can save yourself. You need to be able to save. I know you're not 80 pounds overweight expecting this man to slow down. I can't, come on. At least I know that I could do what I need to do, and I'm gonna meet you at least halfway. I'm gonna give 100% of my effort. Then I need you to help. But if you can't even get up the stairs at work and there's an active threat, what are we supposed to do? You put somebody in a very complicated position. It's not good, y'all, and I'm not trying to be funny. All right, so let's talk about these are some stats from the National Institute of Health. Here's the overview of what's going on with weight, y'all. We need to be very serious. Yeah, they tricked us with that whole body shaming stuff. I mean, body shaming does exist. It does exist. But you have expanded the definition to include all kinds of stuff. Now body shaming is just, look, we were just watching Married at First Sight. I've been trying not to say, we were just watching Married at First Sight. The Married at First Sight, these are strangers that get married right at the first day, right? There's a man named Clint and a man named Gina. Gina had said that she didn't like that Clint was a ginger. Well, then Clint came around and said, well, I usually like more slender women. He said it in the group of women, okay? He had to then apologize to the whole group because he said he liked slender women and they were offended because they weren't slender. I couldn't believe, I was like, oh my gosh. If anything, he should apologize to his new wife because he hurt her feelings. No, his name is Clint. Her name is Gina. So Clint had to get up at the table and say, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to offend you. I was just saying stuff off the cuff. Like, I shouldn't have said that. I was just saying stuff. So they treat it like it's body shaming. All he said was, I prefer more slender, more athletic women. Just because you're not slender and athletic doesn't mean he's not saying nothing about you. He was talking about himself. He said, I like slender and athletic women. But then he had to apologize because they weren't slender and athletic. My thing is, if you want people to think you're slender and athletic, go get slender and athletic. What are you talking about? People don't have to say they like a certain thing, or they supposed to not say what they like. He didn't say you fat. He didn't. I don't even want to start cussing. I don't want nothing going on with my life. I don't want any issues. But he didn't say you big back. You know what I mean? He didn't do all of that. That I would say is body shaming. That sounds like a problem. But if you're like, just like women can say, I want a man with a six pack. I don't want a man I want a man that's 6 feet tall. I want a man that. But as soon as a man said, in that same group, y'all, I'm going to move on. In that same group, that same setting, another woman said that she thought her new husband was unattractive because he was bald. But meanwhile, she had a wig on. But if he said, your ass is bald, you're bald, you're bald, you're bald. She said, I didn't think you were attractive because you're bald, but I guess I could get over it. If he said, you're wearing a wig because you're bald, I like myself, so I just stay bald, but you don't like yourself, so you act like you not bald. Austin, can you hear me upstairs? What? It's not fair. It's not fair, ladies. It's not fair. But she can be like, I didn't even like you because you're bald. But you bald, though. Only difference is I own it and you hide it. See, but you can't say all that. National Institute of Health stats, y'all. Here's an overview of what's going on with weight. 1 in 3 adults are overweight. Now, this is everybody. Nearly 1 in 3 adults are overweight. It's about 30%. More than 2 in 5 adults, 42.4%, more than 2 in 5 adults have obesity. See, even when it comes to research now, we can't even say you're obese. They stopped saying it. They say you have obesity. Like you caught it. No, you became it. You have obese, like you caught a cold. No, you are obese. This is crazy, y'all. Even the research has to make it a little bit softer. We can't even say you big. We gotta say you have it, like you caught it. No, you became it by eating a lot of food. What are you talking about? What do you mean you have it? Like you could just not have it? No, you gotta work to get out of it. What you talking about? You have it. You became it. You ate your way into it. What are you talking about? This is crazy, y'all. I think it's scary when you have like this is the National Institute of Health that gotta do this. Shaka, we got too much to go through, but I want you to just bring me into the gym with you. See, Shaka at the gym. 1 in 11 adults, 9.2%, have severe obesity. Did you hear what I just said? 30% of adults are overweight. 42.5% are obese. Y'all got so big, they had to make a new category, severe obesity. That's crazy. That's crazy. We got so big. So big, you transcended the obese category. You are now severely obese. We got to separate you from the normal obese. We got a whole nother group. Now let's separate men and women because it's not the same. There's an overweight category and there's an obese category, okay? Overweight, 34.1% of men are overweight. 27.5% of women are overweight. So men as a whole group of adults are actually about 7% percentage points higher than women in the overweight category. Now there's a closer gap with the obese category, which includes severe obesity. 43% of men are obese, 41.9% of women are obese. Now, y'all, let's separate this by race. Non-Hispanic Black women are the highest rate of obesity, 56.9%, compared to 39.8% white, 17.2% Asian, 43.7% Hispanic. Black women top the charts at 56.9%. They are the only group that is significantly different from all other race groups and significantly different from men in the same group. Black men are second least obese. Black men sit at 41.1% obese. That is less than white men. That is less than Hispanic men. It is higher than Asian men. You don't find a big Asian. We don't know. I don't know. I cannot think of one. I can't think of one big Asian. So the Asians are just, nobody gonna beat the Asians. Asians be doing their own thing, just knocking it out the park. In like all categories. They say to themselves, they got it down. You don't find a big Asian. You don't. Find me a big Asian. I don't see them. I'm like, where do they put y'all at? Austin said they must be sumo wrestlers. If you a big Asian, it must be your career. There must be a reason. Because they don't even make y'all. You must have did this on purpose. They don't even make y'all. They won't even let you stay in the country, you big Asian. I don't know if that's true. Anyway, let me read y'all the stats real quick. Yeah, they kick you right out of Asia. You got to get off the continent. They like, you not one of us. That's what I appreciate about Asians. They be like, you're not one of us. You gotta go. You better get small and stay in order, or you can't be here. So, and it's working for them. They really orderly. So otherwise we got way too flexible. Let me read y'all the stats real quick. I'm reading the stats real quick. Again, non-Hispanic Black women are the highest, the most obese among everybody. 56.9% of Black women are obese compared to, these are other women, 39.8% of white women, 17.2% of Asian women, 43.7% of Hispanic women. They are the only group that is statistically different from other race groups and significantly different from men in the same group. What that means basically is that, thank you for buying a badge. What that means basically is that other groups have differences, but it's not that big of a damn difference. It's not that big of a difference. They're like, yeah, it's not the same with the white people. It's not the same with it's not, but they're like, but you're not. They're like, the Asian men and women are about similar. The Hispanic men and women are about similar. The white men and women are about similar, but the Black women are a lot different than the Black men. When they look at white, when they look at Asian, when they look at Hispanic, they're like, y'all all kind of doing the same thing, but the Black people are doing something different. That's a big problem, y'all. That says a lot. I think that says a lot. That's why I'm really hovering on that. So let's make sense of the data. Black women are the biggest among everybody. Black girls, y'all, are 10 percentage points. These are not adults, Black girls under 18. Black girls are 10 percentage points higher than Black boys. A 29% versus 19%. Did you hear that? Black girls are sitting at 29%. Honestly, I think it's obese, but honestly, I really got to double check. I'm gonna put the links in the description so you can see yourself. It's overweight or obese. I think it's obese. 29% obese, 19% compared to 19% of Black boys. I don't want to get into Black mothers projecting some weird stuff onto their Black girls, because that's a very dark place to go. I'm not even going to do that to y'all today, but I find it really strange that Black girls are so much higher than the Black boys, and there's so many Black single mothers raising both of those children, the boy and the girl. But why the Black girl big as hell? I don't even want to get into how strange that looks. Another thing, how to make sense of the data. Black men are the second least group, second only to Asian men, to be obese. And again, if you ask me, if you second to Asians, you number one. Asians in a category all on their own. Okay. I'm not talking about you Asian and black. No, one drop rule. You don't count. I'm talking about the pure Asians. If you second to Asians, you're just number one. Okay. Asians are their own category. So black women, the body is hugely, it's a big problem for you as an individual. And then it's a huge issue when it comes to men choosing what women to date, because for the most part, men don't want to marry an obese woman. Men don't want to marry an obese woman. I don't want to hear about the outliers or who paid for your stuff on OnlyFans. I don't care. Men don't want to marry an obese woman. Not even just because of the way it looks. Not even just because of the way it looks. But also, now we know stats, right? So let's also remember that black men are second only to Asian men in terms of what men are obese. So why should black men, who are number one, because you only second to Asians, you number one then, okay? Asians got it? You second only to Asians, you're number one. Why should black men accept obese black women? When they're not nearly as obese. So it's not even just the way it looks, but it's also, why should I do that when I don't do that? It's interesting how black women will go on and on about pregnancy issues. And it's always that the care isn't there for black women. But how about how you care for yourself? I need y'all to start intersecting the data. You're saying that you got a whole bunch of issues with pregnancy and you keep putting it on the doctors, but you're also the most obese. I think they correlate. I think they might even causate. In other words, I think one might have something to do to cause the other. I think if I just use my common sense and think that pregnancy is how could you go through a more intensive physical process as a woman, but your body isn't ready to bear that load? It can't complete that task without getting all these other kind of issues. Yeah. So I just wonder about the correlation between what's going on with black women's pregnancies and how that correlates to their physical health, specifically obesity, that you are topping the charts at. You don't think that got nothing to do with the way that you carrying this baby, with the issues that baby develops in you? You look pregnant before you were pregnant. And we're not supposed to say that? So black men, when you're about choosing a mate and this person is supposed to carry your child and your body is not able to do it, why would I choose? I'm very passionate about this. I feel like I actually need to kind of back out of this issue because I'm about to go to a place that I just don't even want to go today. I don't even want to go there today. That's a whole separate issue. I'm disturbed by this. I can't understand why I would choose the carrier of the child to be why would I choose someone who's in a state that is directly related to every single health complication? Every single health complication, every health issue becomes more of an issue when you're obese. Every health issue is more of an issue when you're obese. I can't figure out what kind of man would choose a carrier that is physically compromised. I can't imagine choosing that. What do I think about myself? To say, I want my baby to be carried, and not to mention the habits you would instill in this child. The habits, the behaviors, the lifestyle. I can't imagine choosing that. Now, I'm a fitness person, so of course not. But even as an average person who even just likes yourself, Every health issue is more of an issue when you're obese. Every complication gets more complicated when you're obese. So let's go beyond the kids. Are you even gonna be around? We're supposed to do this for life. You got about how many more years huffing and puffing up the stairs? When you sit down on the couch and it's like, you need to get some water, you like, I'll do without it. Matter of fact, you don't even drink water. It's Coca-Cola and grape soda. But you want somebody to sign up with you for life? You look like your ass about to cut it short. You opting out. If you big as hell, you opting out of a long life. You just opted out. This man about to be a widow dealing with your high blood pressure ass. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. That was too much. I'm going too far. I told you I shouldn't do this. I told you I shouldn't do this. We need to move on. We need to really move on. I'm not even, do you know how much more notes I have? Do you see this? I'm right here. Where am I? I'm right here. We might need to do this in 2 parts. I got all this. We can't do this. We can't do this today. I didn't even get to my theories. We're only on the facts. I didn't even get to my theory. I might need to do this next weekend, y'all, because this is too much. I'm about to hit this last point. So Black women largely missing body. I think I made the point. Number 2, attitude. Oh, God. You see how you just exhaust us before we even get started at this point? Every time we talk about attitude, Black women attitude especially, it just be like deflating. We all been fighting this thing. You know, reasonable people have been fighting this thing for so long. You just be like, I'm just, never mind. Y'all been doing this since I was little. And it's funny how the tables have turned. I don't wish badly on any of y'all, but the thing is, I don't even gotta wish bad on you because it just happened. It just happened. Woo, I'm so glad that those Black girls didn't like me when I was younger. I'm not supposed to say that though, right? I'm not supposed to say that? That y'all were talking shit? I'm not supposed to say that? I'm not supposed to say that? That y'all talking shit? Now what? I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna do it. Attitude. Y'all, what are women lacking? Good attitude, Black women in particular. Let's talk about what's a good attitude. Let's be specific. Positive. Imagine that. Service. I really need to stop. Service-minded. That already those 2 disqualified a bunch of you. Positive. This is not funny. Positive. Service-minded. What can I do for you? They absolutely said I talked white. Don't get me started. How many times have I been called an Oreo? Who knows? Yeah, well. Well. How's being blackety black working out for you though? Like how's being real hood? How's that going? Tell us. As a matter of fact, don't. We got the facts. We have the stats. Please don't even tell us the story because it's gonna sound silly. Good attitude, positive, service-minded. What can I do for you? Hello? Helping and supportive. Yeah, I promise you, this is just too funny. This is too funny, but I'm being so serious. Helping and supportive. Confident. Confidence not loud. Some of y'all be like, I'm confident, and you look a mess, and we all know that you hate yourself. Sharnita, it's sad. It's sad. Some of y'all be talking about you're so confident, but we literally can just see that you're not. It's just so obvious. It's like so sad. growth-minded, fair and just. Oh my gosh. I feel tired even just saying this because you just know how hard it is to get this in somebody. Let me start from the beginning and be serious. Positive, service-minded, helping and supportive, confident, growth-minded, fair and just, accountable, kind. Why is it's sad that this is so funny. You know why it's so funny? Because it's so rare. It's like I'm describing, like, it's so tough to get kind, damn it. Responsible. You know what I'm describing, y'all? Pro-social. Pro-social. That's the opposite of anti-social. Anti-social doesn't mean you're introverted. Anti-social means that you do things that are destructive to society. Anti-social, yeah. Let me save that one. Let me save that one. Antisocial is also a personality disorder. Let me save that one. Some of y'all know where I'm getting at. Pro-social behaviors, y'all, and attitudes: positive, service-minded, helping and supportive, confident, growth-minded, fair and just, accountable, kind, responsible. Instead, y'all, we're getting, and you know what? This is not just Black women, but again, Black women are the most disordered out of all of the disorderly. So this is all women. So any women could hear this and start to understand what might be going on wrong with them. Okay, but Black women in particular have the most issues in these areas. So many women are delusional. It truly is sad, Sophina. It really is. I hate to see it. So instead of getting these pro-social attitude, and yeah, I'm going to do a whole episode on pro-social versus anti-social, and y'all going to see, you're really going to see. See, this is what happens when the nerd, ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. Yeah, y'all were turning up in middle school. Now you're middle age and things don't look, it's not the same. It's not the same playground. It's not the same rules, you see? Instead of a pro-social attitude, what do we get instead? Entitlement. A sense that you're better than for no reason. Literally. Y'all crazy. Literally for no reason. Better than, just cause. Are you nuts? Delusion. No kind of service. Everybody's supposed to serve you. No understanding of a man's worth and what he needs, or you just don't care. Because at this point, you should have heard it by now. They'd be like, what does a man need? You heard it by now. You just don't care. And that's what you don't care. Stop asking. You're not even asking genuine questions. You don't care. Interesting how you call for equality, but see men as less. Actually, you see anyone that doesn't align with you as less, because a Black woman like me, I'm a problem now. Is anybody you know what that is? It's a cult-like mindset. I'm going to do a whole other episode on cult-like mindsets. We got Black women acting like a damn cult. And if you don't align with what with the certain kinds of principles and pillars of whatever they got going on, now you're on the outs. But you know what? Ain't no fun when rabbit got the gun. We're turning on your ass. Good. At this point, we're like, good. Keep me out. Don't invite me to anything. I don't belong there. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there. You call for equality, but you see men as less. As a matter of fact, at this point, you see anyone who doesn't align with you as less. We're a problem. We're a problem. You become what you hate. You don't like people looking down on you, treating you bad, treating you weird, calling you names, ostracizing you. You have become what you hate. You're defensive as hell. Listen, I work with men and women. Women are way more defensive than men in general. When I do deal with the defensiveness, if I had a chart, it'd be like way more women than men are defensive that I'm working with. Black women are way more defensive than any other group. Isn't that interesting, y'all? If you got the most problems, you should be like this. You should be shutting the hell up like this. Let me figure out what the hell going on, because it ain't in here and it ain't around here. So let me see what's going on. But whenever somebody try to help you, defensive. So even when somebody tells you straight up what's wrong with you, straight up being like, it's your attitude, it's the way that you move, it's the way that you act, it's this, is that. Defensive. You won't even hear it. Honestly, many women think they have a good attitude. It's called like a self-serving bias. Self-serving bias. You imagine that you are a way that is more positive than you really are. In other words, on a multiple choice test, if someone said, "Are you selfless?" most people would say, "I am," when they really might not be. Okay. So many women think they have a good attitude, but really we have so many women that refuse accountability, live in denial about the negative impact of their thought, emotion, and behavioral patterns. They're out to serve themselves and definitely not a man. And a man serves his woman as well in different ways. So this isn't like it's not like women are like at men's feet and men never do anything. But the thing is, you don't have to tell men that. Men just know that. Whenever women are talking about, well, it goes both ways, men know that. They already know. That's the issue is you don't know. The issue is that you didn't know. Talking about serving and submitting, you're supposed to treat your spouse well. Women are like, it goes both ways. They know that. Huh? It's you. And another deflection, another defense. It's like you still can't be like, you know what? You're right. You can't even be like, you're right. You got to be like, go both ways. It's like, please. We're moving around you at this point. These women, the women that are problems, which is most, y'all, we have to be on women. You got to be honest. I said a thing about outliers earlier, so I'm going to say this again now. Some women in general might have basically a good disposition towards other women. They call this the girl's girl, who pumps other women up, hype girl. So happy for other women, right? Or maybe they're, they like animals. They like dogs. They treat their pets well. Hell, you know how irritating that is for a woman to treat her dog better than you? Irritating is not even the word. Disrespectful. So a woman might have a basically good disposition towards other women, maybe with her damn pet, but not with a man though. And honestly, I'd even argue that even with other women, that's not really how they are for real. It's an act. See, this is the thing. This is a little bit of game. They know they can't get a man. They know they won't get with a man, right? And they can't stand to be alone, so they can't stand to just work on themselves and be apart from the majority of women. So they'll be in groups of women and they basically like feed each other validation to keep them around. So just so they can like have somebody to call and go out with, and someone they can like post on their Instagram, this is my bestie, like, oh my God. And like, that's what they do. So it's not even like for real. It's like actually, again, self-serving for their own validation. I don't even believe in the girl's girl, because I know y'all for real. Like I actually know y'all for real. But when they hear this episode, that's exactly what I'm going to hear. Because I've never just laid this out. So that's exactly what I'm going to hear. You're not a girl's girl. No, I'm not. Let me say it so you don't have to. Nope, I'm not. Not a girl's girl. I'm not a guy's girl. Like, I'm literally a reasonable person. Reasonable people, man or woman, should just be able to get along with reasonable people. Like, you shouldn't have to be blind to what people got going on in order to be cool. Girl's girl is really like synonymous with denial. Like, I will be blind to your bullshit and make you feel like you're all that in exchange for the semblance of friendship. That's what a girl's girl is. These are women who say things, who really use language like this is someone's a pick me. First of all, do you understand that a pick me is literally the kind of woman a man wants? Like, what's the issue? Oh, because you don't know how to be that, right? That's like kind of really the problem. Do you realize that a pick-me type of woman is the type of woman that a man wants? So I'm gonna ask you again, what's the fucking problem? Dummy. A woman who a man actually likes isn't like, there are some men, right? And this is the minority of men who just want to power and control, and I just want to run everything, and girl, shut the fuck up. Like, I mean, that's a minority of men. Be serious. And the thing is, women, you know that. Stop it. Men want most men don't want a pushover of a woman. That's weird. That's uncomfortable. Like, a man that has some character and values, that's weird to just be able to, like, that's a weird feeling to be able to just push women over physically, emotionally, mentally. Like, she can't hold her own, like, mental ground. That's a weird dynamic to be in for someone who is not abusive, like, who's like a normal person. That's a weird dynamic to be in. They're not looking for pushovers, doormats. Men, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, like, men like for people around them to hold them accountable, to have values and standards. So this whole idea of like being a woman, like there's a misrepresentation of being a type of woman that has a mentality that a man likes. Like, they make it so extreme, like, oh, you must not like yourself. Like, no, I actually love myself, and that's part of why he loves me. Dummy. Y'all are confused. So confused. Anyway, y'all, I clearly need to take a break. I need to like drink some water. Honestly, it's so much information, y'all. I still have, look at all this. I got so much to talk about, or obviously not doing that today. Cannot do it. So let's make this a 2-part thing, maybe even 3 parts. But here's what I will leave you with, okay? I have I just put a link in my bio. I'm creating an email list for people who are interested in being in community with like-minded people. Okay, high value driven people, men and women. All I'm doing is collecting the name, collecting the emails. That's it. I'm not sending anything out to you. It's just going to be so that I have it, so that when we do have something for you and we start building these communities and doing things for you, and even matching people up that fit criteria. Yeah. Matching people up romantically that fit certain criteria. I have your email. So it's in my link. It's in my bio right now. It's called preferred option, like interest. It's at the top. I'm calling this list the preferred option. You at least think that you're a preferred option as an individual, in a relationship. So I have that. It's in my bio now. So all you got to do is put your name and your email. That's it. That's it. So that's there. I have the thing that I'm going to have for you the next time I'm on live. I'm not sure when that's going to be, if I'm going to wait till next week, or if I'm going to do it later today or tomorrow. I don't know. I'm going to share with you why I think this is happening. I'm going to give you my own theory about why I think this is happening specifically with Black women, and then how to handle this. All in all, y'all, I've been saying this for at least the last 2 years, and at this point, like, this is where I'm at. I 100%, this is the last time in this episode with this information, the last time I'm addressing the ridiculousness, okay? Like, we have to go forward. I 100% think it's time to separate from the dummies. It's time to separate. Like, it's over. It's over. They have sucked up time, energy, money, sanity, all kinds of stuff. And it's time to move on. Let the dead bury the dead. Let them drown. Honestly, that's what I'm doing. Now, other people might be called to stay right there with them and fight to save them. I'm not. And if you're not either, then I want you to get on that email list and let's move on. Let's move on. Okay. Y'all have a good weekend. Bye.